This slide shows you different Slurm variables, and in the second column, I put the description of what this variable contains. And this table lists various Slurm flags. So we already saw some of them. For example, number of MPI tasks. -- nodes actually requests a minimum of a specified number of nodes. And it is useful if you want to submit a parallel job and you want to spread it across some number of nodes. So you will use -- nodes flag. And you can also pass two numbers to it. You can say -- nodes equal to one number dash the second number. And that will let you specify a minimum and a maximum number of nodes. We already saw CPUs per task when we were submitting OpenMP jobs, shared memory jobs, and hybrid jobs. Tasks per node will let you specify a number of MPI tasks per node, and so on. Also, it might be useful to set the email address and then mail type equal to either all or one of these, none, begin, end, etc. And this way, Slurm will send you an email to the specified email address when your job starts, when your job ends, when it fails, or perhaps for all these events. And some people actually find it quite useful. A few more Slurm flags. So the output flag is actually the one which is quite useful, because recall that the default terminal output from a Slurm job will go into a file slurm-jobid.out. But if you want to specify another file name, you can actually do this with this flag. -- array is similar to the previous one, so all standard array from your calculation, from your job, will go into this file. So various flags for specifying memory, for specifying GPU resources, array jobs, etc. A few more commands that I have not mentioned. One of the most important ones is perhaps scancel. So if you have a job that is waiting in the queue and you decide that you don't want to run it, you will say scancel followed by the job ID, and that will kill the job. Also, if the job is running, scancel can also kill a currently running job. Sinfo will give you information about different Slurm partitions. I already mentioned sinfo when I was talking about the interactive jobs, and so on. So sacct is very useful because you can actually print some statistics about a completed job, and the same for sf, so Slurm efficiency command followed by job ID will print some job stats along with CPU and memory efficiency numbers. Also, when you run the sq command, it will give you the job status, and if the job is currently waiting to start, so it hasn't started yet, then you will see PD, that stands for pending, and then if you see R, it means the job is currently running. If you see CG, that means that the job finished running and is currently completing, and then F means a failed job. A quick word on Slurm partitions. Our production clusters, Cedar, Graham, and Beluga, have multiple partitions, and some of these partitions can run jobs scheduled by node. Some partitions can run only jobs scheduled by core, and some partitions can actually run both types of jobs. So this is useful to know because sometimes you find that it takes a very long time for a job to get started, and perhaps you can move it into a different partition. Instead of specifying the number of nodes that you want to use, you can specify the number of cores that you want to use. On different nodes, we have different values for the maximum allowed runtime. Some of the nodes can accept jobs up to 3 hours in duration. Some of the nodes can accept jobs up to 12 hours in duration, and so on. The final slide in this chapter, why is my job not running? Well, I hope that the information that I provided in the scheduler section was useful to answer this question. The most common answer is other jobs have greater priority. If your job was scheduled to run at a certain time and then it got pushed into the future, that usually means that there's a high priority job that started before your job can start. Perhaps there is a problem with the job. You're asking for maybe too much memory, and none of the nodes on the cluster have such amount of memory, or perhaps there are some other problem. So if you're not sure, please send us an email, support@computecanada.ca. Specify the exact the location of the code, perhaps any input parameters, how much memory you think your code is going to use, the Slurm flags that are used to submit the job, and we'll try to help you.